Okay. Good girl. Alright, what's up, guys? Jai here. Um, my cat here, actually. She's rubbing her fur against my stuff, which is usual. As long as you don't jump on the bed. Well, actually, you can jump on the bed. No, do not jump on the bed. Do not jump on the bed, you. But anyway, yeah, let's look at some sports. As you can see, we got some shootouts. So, but this game today is what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the Browns and the Ravens game, which we're going to click on. And I'm just waiting for this to load, as usual. It's end of the third quarter. And guess who actually decided to make the first start? I will actually show you. Player stats. Lamar has 2 interceptions. He has 10 completions for 132 yards. But they are treating him not fairly. Dylan Gabriel, 7 completions out of 10, 68 yards. Shedeur Sanders makes his first appearance in the NFL. 2 completions out of 5 attempts. 12 yards and an interception. But the Browns defense is making a good impact here to help the Steelers. They forced some turnovers, and they got 4 sacks. Yeah, it's going into the fourth. Hopefully, these Browns team can, beat the Ravens. But as you look at the standings, Bills won. They're 7-3. They beat the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are, if this thing goes, okay, here we go. I switched it. Eagles are 7-2. They're in first place still, even if they lose today. But hopefully they can win today, so they can stay within range in clutching a playoff bye like they did in 2022. So hopefully they can do just that. The Buccaneers are 6-4, like I mentioned just a little bit ago. The Vikings lost again. They're 4-6. They lost to Chicago, who was in first place for the first time, and probably for the first time since 2018. They could win the division this year for the first time. Packers are just being the Packers. They won, though, today. 6-3 with a tie. They lost to the Eagles on Monday. Well, not tomorrow. Monday, which was last week. Seahawks are battling the Rams. I believe they're losing. Niners won, though. They're 6-4. Well, winning, actually. They could go 7-4. Cardinals are completely done at this point. They still have hope, but completely done. But the NFC North is looking pretty stat. Vikings are just trying to keep up. And the NFC East is just being the NFC East, with the Eagles just being the Eagles and the Cowboys. Commanders are straight up done. Giants are absolutely done. They lost 5 straight, and they fired their head coach. Commanders, let's see what happened with the Commanders today. After getting blown away by the Seahawks and Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cowboys. So Mariota. So they finally listened to the fans of the NFL world to not start Jalen Daniels or rush him back into action. He has suffered an arm. Not his throwing arm, but he suffered his, I don't know, like some sort of fracture in his arm. But this game was kind of close. They actually was in Germany in overtime. So back to here. So the Niners are beating the Cardinals. Rams are beating the Seahawks. They're in their territory, the Rams territory, and the Ravens scored a field goal, and they have the ball again. And Chiefs are heading into the fourth quarter versus the Broncos. So let's see what happened. The Chargers got blown by the Jacksonville Jaguars. But yeah, let's focus on one thing, and that's this game right here. So the Steelers, have kept their job this week. They kept their job. Well, for now. They're 6-4. We all know that. Bengals, they're 3-7. Their season is on two more strokes. If they have 9 losses, they're strictly out of the playoffs. There's no way you can make it into the playoffs with a 9-loss record. I'll look at their schedule as I get this done. So, Joe Flacco got out blasted by the Steelers, 23-40, 199 yards with a touchdown and an interception. I believe he threw a second interception. I wasn't sure if he did, but I feel like he threw another interception. It says one interception right here. Maybe it will show it in. Let me look at the Steelers defense real quick. Kyle Duggar from the trade with the Patriots made an interception, took it back to the house, and Nick Herbert got the sack, which will give the Steelers 33 sacks. I will check this here again once I am done with this section. Patrick Queen has 10 tackles total. James Pierre, 6 tackles. So the tackling was good for Pittsburgh. Watt actually came alive with some tip-away passes, and Cameron Hayward just did Cameron Hayward. But Watt only has 1 tackle. He has some hits, though, which I wish they'll show here. Hopefully Google can upgrade their status with the sporting community. But Mason Rudolph came in. He threw a touchdown pass. His first touchdown pass this year. Rodgers threw a touchdown pass. Had a hand injury. He completed 9 of his passes out of 15 attempts. And Rudolph completed 12 of 16. So very good for the quarterbacks. And it was very good for Rudolph to fill in. Right, Poof Poof? She hasn't won. I could show you to the camera again, but that darted away from me. So the yardage of the Steelers, they banged it, and it was flawless. 343 yards, and the passing yards go to the Steelers with 232. Rushing yards go to the Steelers, so everything goes into the Steelers' way. Time of possession, the Steelers almost, but the Bengals almost surpassed it, but Steelers had the time possession. Each team had penalties. Bengals lost a fumble. Poof, no. Get down. Do not yell stuff. My cat is being weird right now. And she goes out the room. Okay. But yes, 3 punts for both teams. And yeah, I feel like the Steelers got 2 interceptions here. I don't know why that is not saying that. I don't know why it's not saying that. But Jaylen Warren, 10 carries, 62 yards. Gainwell took over once Jaylen Warren was having some injury issues. And he did good. 9 carries for 24 yards on the rush. But on the pass, he rocked. 7 receptions, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. Darnell Washington, 4 receptions, 67 yards. DK Metcalf, 5 receptions, 49 yards. He almost came alive. He could have had 50-something yards, but it's cool, though. Pat Freiermuth, 1 reception for 19 yards. They need to get him involved. Roman Wilson, 1 reception, 17 yards. And, yeah. But it was mainly the Kenneth Gainwell game. Yeah, the Kenneth Gainwell game and the defense. And this is the first time the Steelers have put a team. No, this is not the first time. This is not the first time. But this is their second time actually this season. Putting a team down by double-digit points or more. So, with this in mind, let's actually just look. Now, just like that Browns game, 23-9, they took down the Bengals in the same fashion. And I did not mean to click on to this again, but yeah, so yeah, just like that Browns game on October 12th. Today's November 16th. Poof. What are you doing? No bed. Poof. Alright, so I don't know what my cat is doing. But yeah, the Steelers, their best games have come between the Colts, Bengals, Browns, and the Vikings. Patriots as well. But the only 2 games that's going to be in my favorite is this Vikings game, even though it wasn't home. This Browns and Steelers game and this Bengals and Steelers game. So 3 games this year are my favorite. So, again, as we look at the standings, Steelers are 4-2 at home. They're 2-2 away. Ravens are 2-3 at home. They're 2-2 away. Tied with the Steelers in that. Bengals are 2-3 at home, but they're 1-4 away. Browns are 2-2 at home, and they're 0-5 away. They're trying to beat the Ravens as I speak. Colts are 8-2. They're 6-0 at home. They're 2-2 away. Let me click the Browns. See, I like how I just went silent there for a minute. So the Ravens are just going back and forth right now with the Browns. Browns are trying to end this game. They're trying to. I mean, right now, the Steelers want them to win. New England's only an 8-win streak. They're 5-0 away, and they're 4-2 at home. Who do they got next week? They have the Bengals next week. So let's see if the Bengals can win against the Patriots, which I hope they don't. But yeah, the Steelers are 4-2 at home. Chicago. Let's look at the national NFC East side. Bears are 3-1 at home. They're 4-2 away. Alright, so to get out of here, I'll come back to that section. Let's look at some little history. Here we go. The opponents that the Steelers have during some time. Right now, I do have an ad blocker on. Alright, so to start this off, let's start with Chicago. Did I pass Chicago? I did. Okay, Chicago. Alright, so since Chicago's coming up for Pittsburgh and the Steelers will be in Chicago. So Chicago, as you can see, Chicago leads the series 19-8 with a tie. They also have some history during the preseason, but they haven't played in the preseason in a little bit. But here's the tricky part. Last time the Steelers played Chicago was 2021. They beat them by 2 scores. And that was with Ben Roethlisberger in his final season. But the Steelers, they only have just 1 win to 12 losses in Chicago. Chicago leads all time in their home turf versus the Burgh. And the last time the Steelers were in a good competitive seed to beat Chicago was in 2017. They were in overtime. Bears beat them by a final score of 23-17, as you see on your screen. The last time the Steelers beat Chicago in their home turf, which was 1995. No, let me say it forwardly this time. November 5th, 1995. And November 5th was on a Friday of this month. No, it wasn't. I'm looking at December. November 5th was on a Wednesday. So, right now, could this be a repeat? They have played in a few overtimes. Will this go to overtime? They actually been in 3 overtimes. 3 overtimes, and the Steelers have won just 1 out of 2. So, yeah, will this be a repeat, or will it just be a failure for the Steelers? Now in Pittsburgh, for the Bears, the series is tied 7-1, and the Steelers are on a win streak. Actually, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They are 7-2 with a tie in their last meetings in Pittsburgh. And the Bears honestly don't like going to Pittsburgh. I kind of wish they would go to Pittsburgh, but we'll have to see another time. Probably in 2027, they can try to play them in Pittsburgh. But right now for the Bears, they if they want to continue their good philosophy, they're 7-3 right now in the process, and they lead their division as I just shown. But right now, the Steelers, this is going to be a tricky and a hard task for them to be, and we're not sure what's going on with Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers knows the Bears better than anyone. He owns them, as he did when he was in Green Bay. Still owns them, but right now, they got to figure out how to spark that win like they did in 1995. It's actually 2025 now. 1995, 2025. So basically, if the Steelers don't win in Chicago next Sunday, then this will be the 30th year that they have not beaten them in Chicago since 1995. Or 3 decades, I should say, since then. So let's see what happens here. They failed in the 2000s, the 2010s, and now they got to play in this era up to 2020. So let's see, can they do that? And Steelers and Bengals. Pittsburgh has They flew to 72 wins to 41 losses. No ties. They have never tied in this rivalry. They have played 3 times of this era of 2025, with the Steelers winning just 1 out of 2. And yeah, look at the home advantages. Actually, matter of fact, to go down here, they actually started their rivalry in November 2nd, 1972. So this is pretty good. Pretty good to start off your November as the Pittsburgh Steelers. And winning. Actually. Yeah, which is pretty pretty interesting. They started their first game in Pittsburgh in 1970. Then they've will end it here of November. So, yeah. It's actually been a little bit since they played in November. They last time they played in November was 2023, November 26th of that year. But yeah, they have always been competitive. The Bengals is another version of the Cleveland Browns, and I will show you here. Well, right now the Bengals kind of sliced in some losses to the Steelers, but they were 37-19 in Pittsburgh. The only team that can at least stand up to Pittsburgh besides the Ravens and my cat. You want to be showing again the camera? Oh, me. There you go. She's just looking. What the heck is going on here? Yeah, that's you. See that? I'm going to put you down. Alright. Show you the away games. Fortunately, the Bengals beat the Steelers last month on the 16th, which was interesting. So we actually got back at them for spoiling our fun and going on our win streak. That poof, down. My goodness. If you do not stop, I'm going to put you out. Alright, so Pittsburgh leads 35-22 in Cincinnati. I mean, Pittsburgh kind of dominates Cincinnati anyway. But yeah. This is the series, and then after the Bears, they got the Bills. So I'll show you that, or maybe not. How about not? I should show you the Eagles and Lions, since Eagles right now. Yeah, how about I just show you the Eagles and Lions? Alright, so here come the Eagles. Did I pass the Lions? I did. And this is a close one as well. Eagles did not play the Lions competitively. The last time I seen the Lions was in 2022. They lead 18-6. Let's look at the home games for the Eagles since they're at home against the Lions. Eagles have lost to the Lions in 2019. And the Detroit Lions lead 10-9. Let's see, can the Eagles squash into that tonight? The last time they actually blew out the Eagles 4 straight times was 1933 to 1940, which is interesting and crazy as you believe that as an Eagles fan. The last time the Eagles took down the Lions by a big score was 56-21 in 07, as you can see on your screen. But yeah, they've been going back and forth a little bit. Poof. Keep trying to climb on me. Last time they were also on a 6-win streak was 1974 to 2007. Well, they were actually 6-1 at the time in these like matchups that they were in. But right now, since they have not played, well, this was actually at home, actually. Let's see away. So they're on a 2-win streak. dating back from 2021. Yeah, and they're actually 9-6 in 2 ties in Detroit. How about away wise? Away wise, they have had struggles versus Detroit before, but they were once on a 6-win streak, like I said before. But half of these games were in Philly. They also had a playoff game. Hopefully they can meet again in the playoffs. And that was only that one game in 1995. But yeah, the Eagles lead all time, 18-16 with 2 ties. Their record right now is 7-2 under head coach Nick Sirianni, while the Steelers are struggling with Mike Tomlin. They're getting there. They beat the Bears. If they beat the Bears, then they have pulled away. But yeah, right now, enough of that. Hopefully the Eagles can get the win, go 8-2. And my camera is off, but that's okay though. I'm going to just let me see what's going on with the Browns and the Ravens. Ravens and the Browns are tied. I do not know what the Browns are doing. So if the Ravens win today, the rest of this game here, then the Browns have to. Well, nothing will happen with the Browns, but the Steelers have to win against the Bears if the Ravens win this game. Game is tied 16-16. And let's see what's going on here with these quarterbacks. So Shedeur Sanders is 2 of 6 with 12 yards. What's going on here consistently? Tasser back-to-back turnovers. But 5 sacks allowed by the Ravens. So, again, and they have the ball going down the field, I suppose. It might be in commercial. I'm not sure what's going on. I cannot watch the game. If I was able to watch the game, I would have watched the game. But right now, the Browns need to do one thing, and that's beat the Ravens. But yeah, other than that, as your host, the Jedi is out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.